and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nyambura and this is 100 on Books. Today I'm going to be talking about my February 2023 book haul, which comes in the wake of me not sharing any book hauls in the recent past, even though I have hauled some books, because I haven't done a very good job of tracking them, and I only know what books I hauled in February because my friend MJ, I'll post a link to her Goodreads below, recommended this app called My Library. I'll post a link to the app below too, and I'm using it to catalog books when they come into my library, as well as the ones I have, which it's a slow process, but it'll be done at some point, inshallah. Right, so I hold 4 books in January, and the first of those was Hair in Funny Places by Babette Cole. It's a book about puberty. Now, you lot might know I am huge on growing up books for kids, etc. And I just loved the premise of the book, but also that, it has like a very particular sense of humor. And if you enjoyed that show on Netflix with the hormone monster, what was it called?
Seabeast.
No, it's not Sea Beast. That's Tom in the background. I'm going to put an image of the particular show I'm thinking about here. Yes, I think you'll enjoy this because it's like Mr. Hormone, Miss Hormone. So this is what it's like on the inside. Yeah, and I'm always collecting these, so that's a big idea here. Then next I picked up G is for Golazo, the ultimate soccer alphabet, which, as the title suggests, is an A to Z featuring football related things. So for instance, E is for elephants. Charge, the world's fastest herd of elephants, plays for the Ivory Coast, for instance. Or N is for nutmeg. It's a bunch of like football moves, things that are associated with football. So like V is for Vuvuzela, which is, like that horn they play during and before matches and after matches in South Africa and so on. Next, After the Funeral by Jane Loretta Winch, illustrated by Pam Keating. So, I don't know what's been going on with me, but maybe I've been in a season of grief. Who knows? But like every time I find a book that's about grief or how to talk about loss with children, I pick it up. And I don't know who it's going to be useful for, but I think that's part of living, is death or dying. And so it doesn't have to have those about. And sometimes there's something about children's books that just speaks to you as a grown-up, insofar as one is a grown-up. So there's that. The fourth book is one that I was given by a bookseller, actually. I was walking past her spot. She has what we Nairobians call an Inama bookshop. It's a place that sells secondhand books where you have to bend. Kuinama is to bend in Kiswahili. And so I walked past and I said, "Oh, hey, so and so," and she said, "It's been so long since I saw you," and she asked her assistant to give me something, and it was this: The Best American Sports Writing from I thought it was 2017. It's 2007, edited by David Maranis. And she knows I love these collections of stories and so on. And sports writing is something that I find very interesting. It's actually how I've acquired a lot of my sports-related knowledge, via sports writing, not quite via being a sports fan. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to dipping in and out of this collection. So, because I was gifted this, means I only bought 3 books in February, and each of them was 100 bob from my usual secondhand children's bookseller opposite City Market in Nairobi. And this bookseller is opposite the Mboya Street post office. So I'm letting you know just in case you want such book. She sells a lot of literary fiction and also, more commercial fiction and so on. And the guy opposite City Market mostly sells children's literature, although he has a few adult books. yeah, so that's 300 for my haul. This is important to note because in 2023 my goal is to keep my monthly book expenditure at 1500 or less. However, if I don't spend that month's amount, I can roll it forward into the next month. And I did not spend any money on books in January actually. Yes, I said I hold some books in January, but I did not pay for them. They were a gift. And so in February, I went into February with 1500 from January, and then I came into March with 2700, which is 1200 from February and 1500 from January. 2700 Kenya shillings, in case anyone is wondering, which is about what, $20 currently? 20 something dollars, less than $30. So, yeah, that's my February book haul. I look forward, as I said, to dipping in and out of these short stories, but with the children's books, they're so short that I'll probably have read them before the year ends. But I say that all the time, and I have a bunch of children's books I haven't finished, so nobody hold their breath. Yeah, that's it from me. Please tell me if you got any new books recently, if you've read any books in the recent past that you've had for a long time but hadn't picked up, and yeah, any other bookish interesting things that have come your way lately. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and all the good things, and I will see you soon. Bye.